How has been the day, everyone? Let me quickly open the stream on my mobile phone. I know, and many of you have been waiting. Today, how was today's paper? जिन लोगों ने आज पेपर दिया था. This session is equally important for 2027 and 2028 UPSC aspirants, and there is going to be a surprise for all of you from next week. These So we are just going to have one session today for GS1 and GS2, and another session tomorrow, GS2, GS3 and GS4. कल हम लोगों ने एसए का सेशन ले लिया था. तो इसके बेसिस पे यू कैन से दैट वी शुड नाउ ऑफिशियली किक ऑफ आवर डेली मेंस आंसर राइटिंग विद मोर रिगर, मोर डिसिप्लिन एंड बेसिक स्टेप बाय स्टेप एनवायरनमेंट दैट वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द नेक्स्ट वीक. तो सब लोग ध्यान से सुनो, बिकॉज whatever I am covering, whatever Navneet and Gaurav are going to cover, and just to introduce them, they had written mains, given interview in the last couple of attempts, and they are great teacher. They keep on talking to so many aspirants on daily basis at SuperKalam and has been a great help in their journey. So do listen to them. They are proper pure teacher. They just talk the substance. Okay? So do listen to them when they are explaining about today GS1 and GS2. They are more closer to the current trend than I have been. I am more towards strategy and fundamentals regarding approaching UPSC. सो नेक्स्ट वीक से हम लोग स्टार्ट करेंगे. बट उससे पहले, फॉर ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स, आई नो सिंस मैनी ऑफ यू आर जस्ट स्टार्टिंग योर जर्नी, आई वांटेड टू स्टार्ट लिटिल बिट विथ फंडामेंटल, दैट इज कि अपना सिलेबस क्या है ना. तो एक बार मैं चेक कर लेता हूँ कि स्क्रीन कैसे आ रही है.
परफेक्ट.
परफेक्ट, ओके. ठीक है, ठीक है. तो यू गो टू सुपर कलाम, है ना. सुपर कलाम पे आप आज सुपर कलाम क्लिक करोगे, लेट मी अगेन डू इट. तो इसमें आप पूछ सकते हो कि भाई GS1 सिलेबस क्या है अपना, एंड इट विल टेल यू, सुपर कलाम विल एक्सप्लेन यू GS1 सिलेबस एग्जैक्टली व्हाट इज द यूपीएससी सिलेबस. तो GS1 में हमें पता है मोटा मोटा हिस्ट्री कवर होता है और ज्योग्राफी कवर होता है ना. इसके बाद बच्चों को पता होना चाहिए कि हिस्ट्री में एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री, मिडिवल हिस्ट्री, मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री, वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री, पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस हिस्ट्री, आर्ट एंड कल्चर. तो हिस्ट्री इज वेरी बिग. आई थिंक 75 to 85 मार्क्स आई थिंक हिस्ट्री पूछी है आज के पेपर में, और वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री नहीं आई है. आई विल लेट गौरव एंड नवनी टॉक मोर अबाउट इट. बट फर्स्ट वी शुड अंडरस्टैंड अबाउट द सिलेबस, है ना. तो इंडियन कल्चर, मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री, फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल, पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस एंड वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री, दिस इज वन पार्ट. GS1 की हम बात कर रहे हैं. सेलिएंट फीचर्स ऑफ इंडियन सोसाइटी, है ना. हाउ टेक्नोलॉजी इज अफेक्टिंग सोसाइटी, सोसाइटी कैसे इवॉल्व हुई, अर्बनाइजेशन कैसे हुआ, सोसाइटी के डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट. सोसाइटी इज अ वेरी वेरी ऐसा टॉपिक है जो आप ये नहीं सोच सकते कि आप इस बुक से पढ़ लोगे. इट्स अ कंटेम्पररी थिंग एज वेल एज स्टक इन द पास्ट. तो इट इज रिलेटेड विद हिस्ट्री, इट इज रिलेटेड विद द प्रेजेंट, इट इज रिलेटेड विद द एवोल्यूशन. तो हर चीज से इसका रिलेशन है. तो इट इज मोर टुवर्ड्स वेरी 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 इंटरेस्टिंग, वेरी 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 डायनेमिक टॉपिक, है ना. तो इसको भी हमें स्किप नहीं करना है. यहाँ से भी एक क्वेश्चन आता है. Role of women and women organization, population associated issues, poverty and developmental issues, urbanization, their problems and their remedies. ये टॉपिक अलग है और इससे पहले का टॉपिक अलग है. Effects of globalization on Indian society, social empowerment, communalism, regionalism, secularism. Salient features of geography, यहाँ पे पूरा geography और disaster वाला पार्ट आ गया. Geography overlap होती है GS1 से भी और GS3 से भी. एग्रीकल्चर GS3 में भी आता है, GS1 में भी आता है. डिजास्टर GS3 में भी आता है, GS1 में भी आता है. देयर इज सर्टेन ओवरलैप एज वेल. दिस इज अबाउट GS1. ठीक है. तो सिलेबस फॉर एवरीबॉडी हु इज न्यू, आई जस्ट टोल्ड यू द सिलेबस. GS2 सिलेबस की अगर हम बात करें, you can also check with Super Kalam to go deeper into syllabus to understand about any specific topic as well. ठीक है. GS2 में it is Indian polity, governance, international relation. ये हमारा मेन पार्ट फॉलो करता है. तो ये सब इस चीज की पार्ट आ गई. पॉलिटी वाला पार्ट है पूरा का पूरा. ये सेपरेशन ऑफ पार्ट्स, इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस भी इसमें पार्ट आते हैं. गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी, डेवलपमेंटल, ये गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी, डेवलपमेंटल प्रोसेसेस एंड द डेवलपमेंट industry, role of NGOs, self-help groups, welfare schemes, different issues relating to development and management of social sector, poverty, hunger, role of civil services and civil society in a democracy, India and its neighborhood, ये international relation आ गया। तो बेसिकली पॉलिटी, गवर्नेंस, आईआर, ये सब पार्ट हमारा GS2 का आता है। यहाँ पे बहुत बच्चों के मार्क्स कटते हैं ऑनेस्टली। दिस लुक्स इजी बट दिस इज लिटिल बिट ट्रिकी सब्जेक्ट। सबसे ज्यादा मार्क्स बच्चों के GS3 में आते हैं और GS4 में भी लोग डिसेंटली स्कोर कर लेते हैं, दे हैव स्टडीड द सिलेबस वेरी नाइसली। So today, Gaurav and Navneet are going to cover about GS1 and GS2 in detail. How was the paper? What changed? What did not change? What was new things? What we should expect in the next, year of preparation and how should we go about it? Okay?
Yes.
So let's give stage to Navneet and Gaurav. If you have any question, you can keep on commenting.
Sure.
Thank you.
So, hello students. Here we are with a session for GS1 and GS2. यहाँ पे हम अच्छे तरीके से एनालाइज करेंगे कि एग्जैक्टली पेपर में क्या आया था, व्हाट यूपीएससी इज एक्सपेक्टिंग फ्रॉम ईच ऑफ द एस्पिरेंट्स एंड हाउ इज द पैटर्न इवॉल्विंग, है ना, विद ऑल ईच पासिंग ईयर. So
Yes.
before we get started with it, who are we? So myself, V Navneet, and I've scored 937 marks in CSE 23 and 945 marks in CSE 25 with 420 plus marks in GS subjects,
Yes.
right? And Gaurav,
Yeah, I'm Gaurav, and yeah, I've scored 956 marks in CSE 25, and we both have consistently scored good in GS subjects. Like it's always been around 400 and greater than 400 as well. So we'll be telling our insights on what we feel about how the paper is today.
yes. So coming to GS1 paper, very particularly, here roughly we had two questions from modern history. It
Yes.
were largely from Gandhian movement and another topic which was similar to that. In art
Yes.
and culture, yes, Vijayanagara Empire again came. Last time
Yes.
also Chandela environment, Chandela architecture had come.
Yes.
Post-independence history is one important thing. Usually it used to be one question, but here
Yes.
again two questions are there. And then the major bulk, roughly about 8 questions, have come from geography, right? And this is geography, and roughly about 6 questions from society. So if you
Yes.
see the macro trend, this is the macro trend of how the syllabus, which area of the syllabus the questions are coming from, है ना?
Yes.
और अगर हम बात करें कौन से टॉपिक से नहीं क्वेश्चन आया, so question has not come from world history.
World history.
Yeah, world history. No question have come from world history. Now, secondly, women empowerment. There is no question. Only one question which is interlinked with another GS topic. It has
Yes.
come. You know? So largely these are the themes.
So
Now,
no, the thing is, yeah, UPSC, the whatever trend, macro trend that Navneet showed, it has been that way. In GS1, geography dominates, society dominates, and on history as well. If you were to look into the micro analysis, Gandhian movements, education policies, these are the things that we keep on studying from our standard sources as such. And UPSC has been time and again, like it shows us that what we have to focus on, that all the core subjects and the core content that we read is very important. That is what we learn from this paper.
yes. And if you see the questions from history are pretty standard. They are
Yes.
from Macaulay's Minutes, which is the educational reforms.
Yeah.
And also the second part is Gandhian movement. So the standard sources are the key here. Art and
Yes.
culture, again, Ashokan inscription and Vijayanagara Empire.
Vijayanagara
Pretty
Empire.
straightforward and standard. Ashokan
Mm.
inscription, even the entire map of minor rock edict, major rock edict, is
Yes.
verbatim taken from the NCRT textbook of
Yes.
history. Post-independence history has traditionally not come very much, but is time दो question आए
Yeah,
ऐसी
yeah.
areas,
The
है
themes
ना?
have repeated. It's the linguistic reorganization in post-independence history. It has been asked before as well. And it is one of the things that we read across papers. I mean, the linguistic reorganization movements, these are studied in different aspects, not just for mains, but for prelims as well. We know certain things, what's happening and all, and it can be applied while we write as well.
Yes, yes, yes. Now let's dive a little bit deeper into what
Yeah.
kind of questions have UPSC actually asked. So yeah, as we just mentioned, GS geography has dominated with roughly
Yes.
about 45% of the questions coming from geography. And different aspects. It was not
Yes.
from physical geography alone or Indian geography alone or world geography alone. It was from diverse topics covering both physical and Indian and human geography aspects, right?
And
And
every
it was
time, yeah, and
yeah,
every time in the recent years, UPSC gives bouncer questions in each papers. And I guess in 23 and 24 as well, it was in geography itself. The bouncer questions regarding there were some tornadoes or something was asked. This year, the Fujiwara effect, it is a bouncer for most of the students. But the thing is, it was in current affairs. I mean, not very recently, but in the 1 year cycle, it was in the current affairs. So this shows that UPSC keeps a track of an year in terms of current events that is happening. So it shows that how much of current affairs we should know as well.
exactly. And as
Mhm.
Gaurav mentioned, Fujiwara effect is nothing but two cyclones submerging into each other.
Yes,
And we know the concept of cyclones, tropical cyclones, from our NCRT books and otherwise. Now, what UPSC wants you to know is a very particular concept from that. In 2023, it was Fajar. In 2025, it was a different concept. But
yes,
in 2026, UPSC come up with this. Similarly,
yes,
with Aeolian effect, which is related to desertification, how desertification is happening and other things. So UPSC is tending to ask applied questions from the topic of geography.
yes,
Right? Now, if we move ahead and if we see the society, this was roughly 30% of the entire paper, which is roughly about 6 questions
yes.
in total.
6 questions.
And
Yeah,
these
six
were
questions.
from diverse areas, which shows the modernity, aspects of modernity where uh, the concept of how the basic evolution of humans in a modern
Yes,
society,
yeah.
urbanization is happening, and the
Yes, the
trends
themes
related to
have
that.
remained the same. Yes, I would like to say that themes have remained the same. The questions are coming from communalism, diversity, regionalism. These are there. But what matters is the application of these themes. Every year, UPSC time and again keeps on asking questions on these themes itself, but it depends on how it is being applied in a question, the way it is being asked, the way is it asking about unity in diversity, is it asking about communalism or communalism intertwined with regionalism? These are the things that we'll have to look into. So what
Yes,
matters here is interlinking is
yes,
basically very important.
yes, yes, yes. And also, many topics have repeated again. For example,
Yes,
the concept of globalization.
yes,
Globalization has come again this year.
yeah,
It has
like
been there
the
in,
yes, question number 20, it's about impact of globalization on Indian youth. And it is about reference with social, political, and economic factors. So the thing is, globalization as a theme is pretty much recurrent in UPSC, like across the years. That is what we always say that UPSC PYQs and syllabus are the main source in this preparation. Globalization time and again comes, but the theme on globalization is different. Sometimes it's on youth, sometimes it's on elderly, sometimes it's on women as such. So the thing is, we'll have to know about globalization and we'll have to know how to apply the aspects of globalization in different facets of lives.
yes, exactly. So I was reading through the comment, and one student has
Yes,
Aman Mishra has said that pre 2026 paper देखना लगता है who are cleared are almost like gods. But Aman, this is mains. The questions here tend to repeat. Prelims is a
yes,
different hurdle. The mains is very standard template. PYQs follow करना पड़ता है. And हमें वही लिखना पड़ता है जो सारे लोग लिखते हैं, but with little bit more structure, little bit more coherence, and little bit more value addition. है ना?
yes,
That is what fetches you marks, right?
yes,
तो
yes,
वही है. अब हिस्ट्री के बारे में आते हैं. तो हिस्ट्री में रफली अगेन 6 क्वेश्चंस वे देयर, बट वाइड एरियाज. फॉर एग्जांपल पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस से 2 क्वेश्चंस थे. पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस
yes.
art and culture, 2 questions.
Two
Again,
questions.
expected on the standard lines. And finally, if we come modern history, 2 questions. So pretty much on the standard lines. You know,
Yes,
one important thing that we want to communicate in this session is that
yes,
UPSC is not focusing on factual recall,
yes,
but it is focusing on application of concepts with
yes,
right information that you can provide in an answer.
yes. The thing
Yes,
is, uh, in history and all, it is about recurrent themes. Yes, but a person who has clearly practiced PYQs like Gandhian movements, like the linguistic reorganization as such, it is very not difficult to write an answer. Because if we have a predestined mindset, predestined points of what we are going to express, it'll be easy. So the thing is, we'll have to prepare smartly in this preparation. I mean, we'll have to see the recurrent themes what UPSC has been asking time and again. Gandhian movements has been one of the key aspects, like everybody tells that every year. So we should have notes on Gandhian movements, a very clear, concise notes. Based on that, we can put the examples here and there and generate the points based on the question that is being asked.
exactly. So now coming to the question paper itself, if you see closely to the question that have been asked, uh, GS1, it has been pretty straightforward. Ashokan inscription here, Macaulay lineage. Everyone knows this. We all study this for prelims. And see, whenever anyone is studying for prelims, we always think that it is one or two revisions. But I would say it is this limited sources. In, for example, for modern history, use spectrum. Now, spectrum do multiple revisions. All of these questions will get correct. For Ashokan inscription, it's NCRT, and NCRTs are the sole thing that you can cover here. Gandhian movement, again, spectrum would cover this. Now, Fujiwara effect is one thing which is in news,
Kind of, yeah.
and yeah, if you had studied well for prelims, you would have come across these terms.
Yes.
Tunda region, again, from the NCRT and GC Lyon, and Aeolian process of desertification. This is a little bit technical. Some might not know this. But overall, this was the paper. Linguistic reorganization was asked. Everyone knows this. Vijayanagar architecture, है ना? So overall देखोगे तो
Yes.
पेपर था, मतलब 3 क्वेश्चंस ऐसे हमेशा ही होते हैं जो टफ होता है, बट पेपर इज डुएबल. अब
Yes.
इसमें लोगों को
That's
प्रॉब्लम ये आएगा कि क्या पेपर कंप्लीट होगा,
hmm.
है ना?
The thing
पेपर
is,
कंप्लीट.
people, one of the things that UPSC shows is that in the syllabus part, like almost everything is touched. Like this time, world history was not asked, but usually they tend to ask. It is like non-negotiable to leave any say, part of the syllabus as such. You cannot leave away anything and go to the exam hall. You should be
Yes,
prepared thoroughly with the static syllabus. And there is a question by Sumit, I guess. He is asking about how to tackle the current dynamic part with the static part as such. So current, I mean, I would suggest that current affairs, you will have to thoroughly know year 1 year past event that has happened before the mains. Like if the exam is in August, um, before 1 year of August or May, you should be thorough with all the events that have happened. And how to interlink. So interlinking is something that it comes by practice. It comes by writing more answers. It comes by reading more as well. So I would say that it is important to write more answers and get it evaluated as such.
yes, exactly, as Gaurav mentioned. And one more thing is that whenever you're reading newspapers, right, always, always have an habit of looking into what exactly is written in the newspaper and think it from the perspective of PYQs. If a PYQ has come from the topic of, say, for example, of demographic transition, I'm pretty sure that a concept of demographic transition would have been covered in current affairs, especially
Yes,
with respect to delimitation.
delimitation.
And
Yes,
yeah, so many articles would have been written. Now, your job as a student is to read that particular article and think, oh, demography has transitioned from 1947. What was the population of India? What was the average age? What was life mortality rate in India at that time? And
yes.
slowly, how has we Indians has evolved from that time till now? है ना? तो
Like that is
अगर
the beauty of UPSC because see, anybody as we aspirants used to start, delimitation is something that comes in GS2. We think it's limited to polity and nothing cannot be asked from GS1 part of it. But here it has been asked in the part of human geography. A current event, which we think is only meant for GS2 has been asked in GS1 in the human geography process. So, which shows the depth, which shows the depth and the breadth of an issue that UPSC wants an aspirant to know about. Like, you need not mug up things, but the thing is, you should have the ability to analyze aspects, analyze the current events as such. As Navneet said, delimitation, it starts from delimitation, but then you go back. You think about how India was post-independence India, what the things were, how the fertility rate and everything was, what is happening. In this way, these questions will not act as a bouncer, but you will have certain points to write.
Yes. Similarly, this question also with regarding to land use change. It is
Hmm.
directly related to urban flooding, different concepts which are happening nearby. Urbanization, uh, insulation effect getting impacted due to concretization in urban area. All these are pretty standard questions that UPSC has been asking across
Yes.
multiple years, and the same trend has been repeated. So, Gaurav, I think next we'll move to
Yeah,
GS2.
we'll move to GS2, and there we'll actually get to know how current affairs is being infused with static part much more clearly. I
Exactly.
mean,
So, as
yeah, the like SuperKalam students, if they have read today's DNA, it's coincidental because very similar, exact similar part of a DNA has been asked in mains today. Please do let us know if you have gone through the DNA, you'll get to know what I'm talking about. Yeah, continue,
exactly.
Navneet.
Oh, yeah. So again, in GS2, polity has been the dominant theme, and roughly about 9 questions have come from polity.
Yes,
Governance, yes, 3 questions. Social justice, 4. And remember, social justice overlaps with society part in
yes,
the GS1. It's a direct overlap. So if you're reading about, say, stunting or say wasting or malnutrition rate, all of them can be correlated. आप
yeah,
सोशल जस्टिस में भी सेम ही चीज लिखोगे, आप GS1 में भी सेम ही चीज लिखोगे, है
yes,
ना? एंड इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस इज वन कोर जो आप हर दिन न्यूज़पेपर में, आई थिंक सबसे प्रोफाउंडली आप यही चीज पढ़ते हो, है ना?
yes,
इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस, और यूपीएससी वही थीम्स उठाती है जब भी इसको पूछना पड़ता है। एंड
yes,
यहाँ पे भी 4 क्वेश्चंस इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन से कवर हुआ है ना? सो
yes.
दिस इज द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ हाउ द क्वेश्चंस हैव कम। अब हम जाते हैं कि इसके एनालिसिस देखते हैं कि एग्जैक्टली व्हाट इट
Mm,
इज,
yes,
राइट? सो या सो पॉलिटी, जैसे मैंने भी बताया, इज द कोर। और एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है जो अभी स्टूडेंट ने पूछा था कि हाउ डू वी इंटीग्रेट स्टैटिक कॉन्सेप्ट विथ करंट अफेयर्स विच इज कंटेम्प्रेरी इशू।
yes,
यहाँ पे उसका परफेक्ट एग्जाम्पल दिखेगा। हम लोग क्वेश्चन वाइज करते हैं इसमें ताकि आपको
yes,
और अच्छे से समझ में आए।
yeah,
हम अभी इसको डिस्कस नहीं करेंगे, बट लेट अस गो क्वेश्चन वाइज एंड डिस्कस दिस।
exactly.
सिमिलरली social justice में there was a significant weightage here, है ना? Even society had a significant weightage, social justice. So you cannot ignore what is happening across you, है ना?
Across
आपके
us,
आजू
yes,
बाजू में क्या चल रहा है, आपको हमेशा इसकी ध्यान रखनी चाहिए, है ना? गवर्नेंस, यहाँ पे इस साल गवर्नेंस के सारे कॉन्सेप्ट डायरेक्टली सिलेबस से आए, नो
mm,
कॉन्सेप्ट इज अवे फ्रॉम सिलेबस।
yes,
हम लोग जब क्वेश्चन देखेंगे हम इसमें डिस्कस करेंगे कौन से सिलेबस के टॉपिक से आया है, बट ईच ऑफ देम आर फ्रॉम एग्जैक्ट सिलेबस पॉइंट, है ना? एनजीओ यूज किए हैं, सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप यूज हुआ है, सेम चीज पिक हुआ है इस टाइम भी। इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस रीड नीडेड प्रॉपर एनालिसिस, एंड दिस एनालिसिस वेयर विल इट कम? व्हेन यू आर रीडिंग न्यूज़पेपर्स, है ना? न्यूज़पेपर्स विल गिव यू दिस एनालिसिस।
mm,
Yes, right? So now
yes,
let's move ahead and look into the exact question paper, what it
yes,
was. So before moving into the question paper, I want to show you one interesting thing that I have acquired in my attempts, that UPSC ना 2023 में क्वेश्चन का लेंथ काफी छोटा था. They used to ask smaller questions,
yes,
but from 2025 attempt onwards,
yes,
they have increased the question length. आपको ना पेपर देख के ऐसा लगेगा कि अच्छा ये क्या है, एग्जाम हॉल पे इतनी कुछ पढ़ना है आपको, और इसको इतने सारी चीजों को कॉम्प्रीहेंड करके देन यू हैव टू कम एंड राइट एन आंसर। अब यूपीएससी में क्या होता है कि देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज इम्प्लिसिट डिमांड, है ना?
mm,
एंड समथिंग विच इज कॉल्ड एज एक्सप्लिसिट डिमांड।
yes,
अब इस क्वेश्चन में, इतने लंबे क्वेश्चन में, हमें वो आइडेंटिफाई करना कि कौन सा इम्प्लिसिट डिमांड है और क्या यूपीएससी
mm,
चाहती है हमसे, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है ना? यहां से देखो,
yes,
राइट टू प्राइवेसी रिलेट thing to self-identity is very dear to every human being and well protected under Article 21 of the Constitution. ये तो यूपीएससी ने सिर्फ कॉन्टेक्स्ट दिया है यहाँ पे कि what is the question. In this context, examine the effect of amendments in 2026 to the Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019. Up, whenever you're writing this answer, you always have to address this part, which is the implicit demand, you know, and to figure out this in exam situation is the tricky part, which requires you to write good amount of answers. So एक anecdote था which I wanted to share with you in my experience, है ना. So this is directly from Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act and how Article 21 has evolved from the perspective of right to privacy. है ना. So pretty standard newspaper oriented
Yes.
plus static question. The second one,
So
Gaurav?
yeah, it's this thing is current affairs being linked to the static part and being asked as a question. This shows that static part and current affairs go hand in hand. Like, I mean, every day when you read current affairs, you read about a topic, you think about it, like Transgender Protections Amendment Act, the amendments that were brought. What you should do on your side is when this has come, you go read what the actual act was and why was it brought. Connect to the fundamental rights, the static part, like the Lakshmikant. It's not like we are just reading Lakshmikant and we are reading current affairs. That doesn't work. There has to be interlinking. There has to be certain way wherein we'll have to apply whatever we have read. Because in this question, usually beginner's mistake, what any person would do, like a beginner aspirant would do, according to me, that the initial aspirant will write only about Article 21 and right to privacy. But that, as Navneet said, that's the implicit demand of the question. But that has to be applied into the amendment of Transgender Persons Act. That is important here. Important thing is to talk about the Transgender Persons Amendment, bring in the Right to Privacy Act inside that. Only then we will get good marks. Or else
Yes.
UPSC will never award marks for beating around the bush.
Exactly. So similarly, if you see all the questions from polity, which were roughly
Yes.
9, they are
Yes.
from interlinkage of current affairs and the core concept. For example, women's reservation. Recently, there was a Women's Reservation Bill, 106 Constitutional Amendment Act.
Yes.
So from there, the questions have come. Similarly, the Lok Sabha, the power of the speaker
Yes.
with respect to
Every other
anti-defection.
day, there's a news about speaker, governor, every day. The thing is, I've heard students say, wherein they say that I have read Lakshmikant like multiple amount of times, but I am not able to answer even one question. The thing is, whatever you have read in Lakshmikant forms the static core part of it. That is required. It is important. But they'll not be asking questions on what Lakshmikant says or something. It will be about whatever is happening around us. You'll have to use your static knowledge and connect it to the current events. And that comes by practice. You'll have to practice a lot in terms of answer writing, in terms of thinking. Then it comes by application as such.
Yes.
Yeah, next
So
question.
this concept was from anti-defection and the role of speaker. Now
Yes.
this question came in mains because of SIR that is happening
Yes.
across India in different states. Now, if you see NCST and NCSC, this is slightly more towards the static part.
Yes. Constitutional
But
bodies.
yes, constitutional bodies. Now, does Indian tribal development, this is from social justice and governance aspect.
Yes, one more
Malnutrition.
thing. In GS2, there's a misconception amongst the aspirants that Lakshmikant GS2 is just about polity and constitution. But yeah, it forms the major part of it, but not everything. Just 9 questions does come, not everything. Even this time, only 9 have come. Social justice, governance, and international relations are equally important in GS2. And these are the questions where we'll find like the tribal questions and malnutrition question. These are the questions wherein our social justice knowledge is being checked as well.
Yes. So yeah, these were the initial 7 questions. Now, if we go down,
Yes.
you can again see this question is very interesting because a lot of people will feel that this is from last year, I think in GS2,
Yes.
or I think in GS1, they had asked one question, which was pretty much related to ethics.
Hmm.
So here also they have asked one question, which is Indian civil service and governance, which is also directly taken from the syllabus itself.
Yes.
Now, this is one thing,
Yes.
Indo-Pacific Partnership for Maritime Domain Awareness.
Yes.
Uh, you might all remember that in 2025, Prime Minister Modi visited the Melanesian, Polynesian, Micronesian countries, and it formed a very important role in the overall vision of India's regional security and the maritime Indo-Pacific strategy. Right.
Yes.
So a question from that area has come. Similarly,
Yes.
BRICS was
Yeah, the
expanded.
one more thing, the question number 9 IPMDA, this is the same daily news analysis that is covered in SuperKalam's DNA today as well. This same thing has come in Hindu. An article was written in the editorial section, and we have covered that here. And this same thing has come. It's a coincidence, but it shows that the level of depth in terms of current affairs that is needed is being covered by us as well.
Yes, yes, yes. So now coming to this question again, governor. Governor is one of the most favorite area of UPSC.
Yeah.
यूपीएससी ने 21 में भी पूछा, 22 में भी पूछा, 23 में भी पूछा, 24 में भी पूछा, और आई
Yes.
थिंक 26 में भी पूछा है ना? So
Hmm.
you can see the importance of this particular topic. Then again, judicial legislation, judicial overreach.
Yes, this is also very good. This was the question number 12. It directly came from the Harish Rana case. That was
Yes,
pretty much in news. I mean, it
it's directly
was
from
in
current
the
affairs.
news from Feb or March, but it is asked now.
Yes. Then again, India's federal framework. Again,
Hmm.
federalism is directly part of the UPSC syllabus, directly mentioned in syllabus. Separation of power,
Yes.
same thing. In India and USA, comparison of Indian constitution with that of world constitution. Syllabus, direct topics. है ना? Pressure groups, again, NGOs, SHG, and pressure groups all form part of one particular category. Right? So if you see, UPSC हमेशा ना अपने कोर चीजों को कभी नहीं बोलता. वो एक या दो
Hmm.
क्वेश्चन अलग दे देगा, but the core remains the same.
Yes.
Nothing changes there.
Yes.
है ना?
That's the thing. The thing is also it about how we write, because similar question can be asked in n number of ways. It's about whenever they ask in n number of ways, it's about how we write. So it is about making parts from a question and to write. How to make a parts? We would suggest that whatever was released, GS1 and GS2, we have given the model answers about how to break down a question. People can actually go read through our analysis, read through the document, and get to know how to break a complex question into different parts, because that is the number one thing of any answering any question. If you are able to break into different parts, your first job is done, and then you can apply whatever knowledge that you have gained over the years.
Yes, yes, yes. Exactly. Similarly, this question again from governance, transparency, and accountability, which is directly
Mm.
from syllabus. Now, constitutional mandate of right-based welfare, again, social justice,
Yes.
education, social justice.
Yes.
Now, diplomacy is again part of syllabus. UPSC has directly mentioned syllabus
Yes.
concept. Now, BRI initiative, we all know that it was in news since 2013, since uh, Xi Jinping is there in power in China, and how it directly, indirectly affects the sovereignty and integrity, territorial integrity of India, right? So
Yes.
this,
That's the thing.
such
Yeah.
questions are
Correct.
like a piece where you can write a very good answer because you're
Mm.
coming across this day and night in newspaper. है ना? So overall, if you see the paper two is a little bit lengthy because you have to see the implicit, explicit demand.
Yes.
It follows the same pattern as 2025, where two or three questions are a little bit on the tougher side, little bit on the
Yes.
analytical side. Here, the living will question that came from directly from the recent ruling of Supreme Court.
Mm.
That was a little bit tricky. The right to
Yes.
privacy and related to transgender was
Yes.
a little bit tricky. So yeah, these were the two questions that were a little bit tricky.
Yes.
Apart from that, all the questions were pretty doable. The biggest problem in such paper is that completion. And if completion is there, you are sure shot are going to get really good marks.
Yes. And the thing is, we have to answer what is being asked, then like we should not answer what we know. Like for example, in the last question, BRI has transformed South Asia from a regional space into a threat of globe great power competition. So
Yes.
this shows how the transition of BRI is happening. If a person who has read about BRI and tries to write only about BRI, what it is, the projects, these are the like the nuanced mistakes any as beginner aspirant would do. They would read something and they will feel that I have read about this and they'll write what they know. But the thing is, it has not been asked at all. The demand is different. The most important thing, as I said, is to understand the demand and break down the question. Any for any new aspirant as such, that is the one exercise that I would always say. Take any question, take any PYQ, break down the question, and keep writing, get yourself evaluated, use the help of AI evaluation. You will surely understand where you are lacking in terms of answer writing as such.
Yes, exactly, as Gaurav said. Similarly, if you see even the GS1 paper, it is on the similar line. Two, three
Yeah.
questions. One question every year, UPSC has given it in that format. Tough question, which no one knows. In
Mm.
2023, it was Fajat. In 2024, yeah, a tornado kind of thing had come.
Yes. Twisters.
2025 also, twisters, exactly.
Yes.
2025 also, one technical concept was there. In 2026, you can see Iolian effect and the
Yes.
Fujiwara effect,
Yes.
right? So yeah, that was the session for today with regarding to the analysis.
थैंक यू गौरव एंड नवनीत। सुमित का क्वेश्चन आंसर कर दिया था।
सुमित का हाँ।
हाँ।
ओके परफेक्ट, ठीक है। कल हम लोग मिलते हैं रिगार्डिंग मेंस एनालिसिस एट 9 PM वंस अगेन। एंड मंडे से और मे बी हाँ मंडे से हम लोग अपना डेली मेंस क्वेश्चन का स्टेप बाय स्टेप आंसर राइटिंग इन अ वेरी वेरी नाइसली वेरी प्लान्ड वे, और विल सी हाउ वी कैन रीच टू द मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ एस्पिरेंट्स, ताकि एक कंपटीशन भी बनी रहे। स्टार्टिंग से सब लोग साथ में सीखेंगे, बिकॉज दिस इज द टाइम, like until December, January is the time where you should prepare your optional and start writing at least daily one or two
Answers.
page questions, है ना। वरना फिर टाइम नहीं मिलेगा। आई कीप ऑन रिपीटिंग दिस सो मेनी टाइम। जो लोग अभी लाइव हैं वो प्लीज सुनो कि अगर आप प्रीलिम्स क्लियर कर भी लेते हो एंड यू हैव नॉट रिटन एनी सिंगल एथिक्स, एनी सिंगल GS 1 2 3 आंसर्स, you have not covered last I am just talking about the minimum possible thing. You have not covered last 3 to 5 years of mains paper, not covered your optional 1, optional 2 papers, not written last 3 4 years of optional paper, then you are NGMI not gonna make it, because बहुत मुश्किल है। प्रीलिम्स और मेंस में गैप इज नॉट 5 months और 6 months एट इज एज इट वॉज यूज टू बी बिफोर इन 2013 14 15। अभी वो 3 months है, उससे भी वो कम ही हो जाता है।
Come on.
एक तरीके से आप प्रीलिम्स का वेट कर रहे होते हो। ये सब चीज़ें तो प्लीज़ डू नॉट डू दीज वेरी ऑब्वियस मिस्टेक्स जो बिल्कुल आंखों के सामने हैं। तो डू नॉट अवॉइड आंसर राइटिंग। Nobody is telling you to write 10 answers daily or 5 answers daily, just 1 or 2. It will build your muscle memory. Knowledge is different, है ना, but expressing your knowledge is a different thing.